Live from downtown Detroit, Local 4 News at noon starts now.
Breaking news just in, the Trump administration issues new rules effectively ending asylum protections for Central American migrants coming into the U.S. when those rules are expected to take effect. But first, the UAW and Ford opened 2019 negotiations with that ceremonial handshake. But the smiles and the cordial talk will give way to what could be the most difficult rounds of bargaining in many years. Our Rod Maloney is live with a look at why. Plus, heat, stress, and storms. It's going to be a hot one, and there's also a risk for severe weather when the trouble could impact you. The weather tops our news here at noon. Thank you so much for joining us today on this Monday. You know, in response to the expected extreme heat, temperatures reaching more than 90 degrees, the city of Westland has now opened several cooling centers for the entire week. Cooling centers have also opened in Washtenaw County. For a complete list of all those locations, head to clickondetroit.com. Now let's go ahead and take a look outside for you at the views from our Romulus, Ann Arbor, and Detroit sky cams. Brandon's here now with more on what's on tap for us. Hey, Brandon.
Hey, Sandra. I think it'll be the end of the week this week where we get the really steamy temperatures. The heat-related issue today, the air quality alert and storms. So this is a reaction between the sun and pollution at the surface. It creates an elevated level of ozone, and that's difficult for many to breathe. So make sure we're checking on our neighbors and not overdoing it. We have low to middle 80s out there, 83 at Metro, but the heat index is 82, actually down from the air temperature. So the humidity is not quite there. We have upper 80s, could feel like 90 this afternoon. And we'll have to keep an eye to the skies, 3 to 7 p.m. Storm potential out there. But again, after 8 o'clock or so, things get a lot more settled. Right now, it's all up north, rain and thunder, and the heavier, bigger storm chances are north. It'll swing our way during the peak heat this afternoon. Sandra?
Thank you, Brandon. And coming up later in our newscast, Hurricane Barry has been downgraded to a tropical depression as the slow-moving storm heads north. Find out which communities still remain at risk. A boil water advisory has been issued today in Lyon Township this afternoon. The township says there was a drop of water pressure, which resulted in that boil water advisory. Folks in that area, you're being asked to boil your water for at least a minute. That alert will stay in place over the next 2 days. And we have much more information for you on our website, clickondetroit.com. It's been 4 years now since the United Auto Workers and the Big Three automakers last negotiated a national contract, and it's that time again. And today, the traditional handshake to kick things off happened in Dearborn. It happened this morning. First thing, our business editor, Rod Maloney, is live there with a look at what happened and also what's expected now. Rod?
Yeah, Sandra, you know, it's a tradition that dates back to the 1930s in the bad old days of the UAW domestic three relationship. And it's a sign of respect. Everybody's saying, hey, we want to negotiate a good deal here. We don't want any trouble. We want to have a modicum of respect for each other. And that's exactly what they did. Bill Ford and also Gary Jones from the UAW doing their handshake today. And it's going to be the first of three. And now what we see here is a tale of two differing ideas of how this all should go. Because on the one hand, the union is feeling like the car companies have made record profits over the last decade. The UAW gave them concessions back during the bankruptcies, and they see the car companies making a lot of money, and they would like to get in on that profit sharing. And they also would like to end things like temporary employees. On the other side, the auto companies are saying that they are looking at a flattening market, that perhaps profits will be down. They want to be competitive with the transplant plants, and so they're looking to see what they can get and also get reductions in healthcare costs. This could be a problem, but let's listen to the two differing tones from both sides here this morning.
I feel like we're all part of one family here. I've always felt that way. I'll always feel that way. We're going to have some, tough issues. We always do. We're going to have disagreements. We always do. But in the end, we always try and do what's right for our company. And in that spirit, I expect that to happen again this time.
So I'm here today to say loud and clear, with this year's negotiations, we will halt the race to the bottom. We will protect our work, our jobs, and our way of life. We expect an agreement that recognizes our contributions to the profitability and looks ahead to Ford Motor Company for a very prosperous future.
The United Auto Workers essentially threatening strike if they don't get what it is that they want. And the company saying that, these are the kinds of things that happen at this time of year when they go ahead and start these negotiations. They expect tough talk from the UAW, the company trying to act as they can work together. And usually they do end up with something. But it's one of those things, it's pattern bargaining. And so tomorrow we're going to have handshakes between Fiat Chrysler and the UAW and General Motors and the UAW, all kicking it off. And the first thing they have to do is pick the target, the one company that they will negotiate with first. That's likely not to happen until sometime on Labor Day. But there's much more to talk about here. We'll have that more coming up in Local 4 News at 5 o'clock. Reporting live in Dearborn, Rod Maloney, Local 4.
All right, Rod, we will see you then. Speaking of the Ford Motor Company, it's announcing a new option for the 2020 versions of the Lincoln Navigator SUV. Buyers will be able to choose a monochromatic package, which would feature trim in white, black, or gray, replacing many of those areas that had been trimmed in chrome. The 2020 Navigator will also have new tech options as well, and it goes on sale this coming fall. We're following breaking news out of Virginia, where we've learned former Olympic boxer Pernell Sweet Pea Whitaker has died. Whitaker won the gold medal in the 1984 Olympics in Los Angeles and was also regarded as one of the greatest defensive fighters. Whitaker died after he was hit by a car. This was while he was crossing the street in Virginia Beach. We're being told the driver did stop, and it's not clear if the driver will be facing any charges. Whitaker was 55 years old. And we're following more breaking news, this time out of Washington, where the Trump administration is issuing new rules effectively ending asylum protections for Central American migrants coming into the U.S. Now, under that rule, no asylum would be granted to migrants who pass through another country to come into the U.S. That would impact those Central American migrants who pass through Mexico. The rule would also have a few exceptions, like people who could prove they're victims of human trafficking or who've applied for asylum in another country and essentially been turned down. The rule is set to take effect tomorrow, but court challenges are indeed expected. Still to come, a series of Twitter statements from President Trump have stirred up the political waters in Washington. Many are condemning his remarks about Democratic Congresswomen, but today we're hearing from people inside the president's camp what they think about those comments. We'll have that for you later on in our newscast. Developing now, a 63-year-old man is in critical condition after he's attacked by several dogs. It happened this morning right near Warwick and Schoolcraft. That's on the city's west side. Police say the owner of the dogs was outside at the time of the attack. Detroit Animal Control has already been notified. Detroit police working to identify a man found dead on a West Side street earlier this morning. Police responded to a call. It was a 911 call. It came in about 3:30 this morning. Police found a body in the middle of the street at Greenview and Schoolcraft. Police investigators say that man is believed to have been about 20 years old. He was wearing a shirt, shorts, and flip-flops at the time. They also confirmed he had been shot in the head. Two men are expected in court today charged in the brutal murder of a gay man they met on Facebook. Anthony Brock and Barnell Wilson now facing murder charges in connection with the death of Deano Johnson. Prosecutors say they connected on Facebook and then later met up on Detroit's east side. They say Johnson was then locked in the trunk of his car and shot multiple times. Both men are also accused of burning his car as well. We are following breaking news right now out of New York, where accused sex trafficker Jeffrey Epstein will have to wait a few more days to learn if or when he might be free from federal custody. A federal judge just ruled, saying he would rule Thursday on whether or not Epstein can be released on bond. Attorneys for Epstein, who is charged with sexually abusing dozens of underage girls, they now say that he should be held under house arrest at his Manhattan mansion. Federal prosecutors say Epstein has paid hundreds of thousands of dollars to buy the silence of his employees. They also say he is a flight risk. And singer R. Kelly expected to be in court this afternoon. Federal judges trying to decide how to proceed with bail hearings in two separate cases against the singer. R. Kelly facing multiple charges, including numerous sex-related crimes. Federal prosecutors argue that they want Kelly to stay in custody. They're calling him a flight risk. Still to come here at noon, Michigan State Police on the case after an early morning crash on I-94. The one clue State Police are hoping to find.